been having a good day too. And welcome to Atlantic on Sunday on Atlantic Television Network. It is a syndicated live program of the network featuring chit-chatting and conversation on special interest topics, news, events, and stories through correspondence reports, expert opinion, and stakeholders analysis. As always, we have amazing stories for you here today, and the first is from Abia State. The public funds discovered in commissioners' accounts. And we have the NLC has threatened Zamfara's government over non-implementation of the minimum wage. And then the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has said that we should invest in livestock because it will boost food security. And Tinubu has requested for Senate approval for Oluyede for the Chief of Army Staff position. And we have that the federal government has been monitoring a past trial. And the NIMC has said that Nigerians would have to pay for new card. And from the power section, it says that vandals has destroyed 31 transmission towers. This is coming from the Transmission Company of Nigeria. And then Dangote has said that NNPCL crude supply targets has not been met yet. We will go into the stories in details and introduce our amazing guest here with us. But before then, we'll go on a short break. Please do stay with us. And welcome back, and thank you for still staying with us. Like I said, we have an amazing guest with us here, and he is no other than Chimzi Victor Nsiagbe. He is a socio-political analyst. It's a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thanks for having me here.
Thank you. Welcome. And to the stories and details, we have a review of the Abia State's audit report has shown that the State Commissioner for Environment, Philemon Asonye Obona, received a sum of 41.6 million naira into his personal account against fiscal laws. According to details in the audit report, the money was meant for Abia Industrial and Innovative Park at Owaza, Ukwa West local government area. This contradicts the provisions of the financial regulations of 809 in the state, as such payments are supposed to pass through proper vouching, documentation and due process. Another sum of 37.8 million naira was reportedly paid into the account of Alozie Kelechi C, a former permanent secretary in the state, and Obina Nwokoma, who is the director of finance in the state. The documents noted that aside from the lack of payment vouchers, the contract agreements that should show jobs to be done, job specifications, time of job completion, and the terms of payment were not also presented for the audit process in the award of the 200 million naira contract. Quickly, I'd love to get your thoughts about this. What do you make of this story?
Yeah, this whole thing boils down to corruption in the public office. A commissioner appointed by a governor, after going through the screening of from the House of Assembly and stuff like that, yes, you know, gaining the confidence or the nod from the assembly members to be made a commissioner, goes there to the ministry and start eating public funds that are meant for projects. Just like this commissioner now, the fund was for the Owaza Park project or something. Now you are transferring the money to yourself. How corrupt, or how more corrupt can one be? You have the permanent secretary, a former permanent secretary, having his own share in a 200 million naira contract. The director for finance and administration having his own cuts. Calculate the money, is even close to 100 or over 100 million. And tomorrow they'll give us some substandard projects. So I urge the EFCC to get into action, you know, investigate the issues very well, or the matters very well, than prosecute.
Okay, I want to ask you a quick question. I'm talking about the EFCC. We've had cases where some individuals have, in quotes, allegedly embezzled certain funds that are meant for public project use. And we see cases where the EFCC invites them for questioning, and most times get to arrest them and probe into these accusations. And sometimes we see where these individuals have been placed on bail to be released, or just let go, or the matter just die off. What's the word? What is the thing to hold on to that when individuals like this commissioner go against the law, do things like this? What is the thing to hold on to that the EFCC will come into play and do what is necessary?
First things first, a person is innocent until proven guilty. Now, EFCC, what's their job? Investigate, make your findings, take the person to court for prosecution. Where the delays are will be from the judiciary. You understand? Because they take their time, they'll start adjournments, cross-examination and whatever, trying to bring up delay tactics. That's why I call it delay tactics in cases. You understand me? So these things are part of the hindrances or part of the obstacles we face in the system. Delay in prosecution. So I think, to me, I think there should be a special court for such cases. You understand? There should be a special court for such cases that won't take, that should have a time frame where they can try the person, conclude on the matter, and give judgments. Maybe within 6 months, within 8 months, within 3 months. So if they can appeal the matter, or if the person wants to appeal the matter, let the person appeal the matter. You get? So I think is the judiciary's own issue, because most cases are no longer with the EFCC. Most cases are in courts, but what's it called? Our justice system, our judicial system is very slow. Very, very, very slow in dishing out judgments and verdicts on this particular thing. And this commissioner, if for real he actually did this, he should have his day in court, and subsequently, if found guilty, should do his time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that if the EFCC have not been put in position to sort it, the judiciary should handle cases, because that is their responsibility.
That's their responsibility to give out judgments, or to see, like, not really investigating, sorry, handle the issues.
Okay.
EFCC have done their jobs by investigating, making their findings, bring the documents to court, so for you to prosecute. So if the person, maybe I won't use the word have a long leg, if the person have some fraudulent lawyers where they can start looking for ways to adjourn the issues, that's where you come in with the whole the slow passage of justice. Okay,
I want to ask a quick question regarding, let me redirect, regarding the minimum wage. We've had cases where some states have not implemented the 70,000 naira that has been directed by the federal government for civil servants to be paid. And then we get situations like this where a commissioner has certain amounts into his account, and then the states have not been able to implement the minimum wage of 70,000 naira. How does this affect the economy and the situation of the people?
It definitely do affect the economy of of the states and the people. You understand? Because one, the morals will drop. You can't be embezzling money meant for the people. You can't be embezzling money meant for the people. So to me, the state, when it comes to this minimum wage thing, we shouldn't be citing it to the corrupt officials here, because how much is it? In Rivers State or other states, they have commissioners that even steal more. Some persons even steal more than these people. You understand? So this is not part of it. This thing was for a project that will help develop a particular area, which the commissioner, in his stupidity, not in his wisdom, in his stupidity, decides to embezzle. It calls for a check on the ministry's ways, patterns in doing things. You understand? Because there is no way the ministry would know about sending money to personal accounts. The government can't send the money to a personal account. Probably the money will be sent to the ministry. The permanent secretary is there. The commissioner, as head of the ministry, you understand, the political head of that ministry, is aware. And they are the ones embezzling the money. So it doesn't relate to the minimum wage thing. It doesn't relate to the minimum wage thing. Just that the corruption in our ministries are on the high side. They need to check the processes on how they issue out contracts or how they dish out contracts. Probably the contract was given to the commissioner or he took it himself. So instead of paying to the company's account, he decides to pay to himself.
Okay, in cases, let's say he succeeds and then there's not been a situation like this, and let's say he succeeds and he does not implement the need for that contract. Are there
it's obvious
there's bodies that are supposed to call him to order and puts him in check?
It's obvious that if that's what's it called, project was to still go on or done, it's obvious that it will be a substandard project. A project of 200 million, over 100 million is off its going to personal accounts. So you understand that it would have been a substandard project.
Okay.
You get, it would have been a way substandard. That's if the project would have been done. It would have been a substandard project.
So what do you think should be done in situations like this?
Yeah, the governor should relieve him of his duties, at least suspend him, and hand him over to the appropriate authorities for prosecution, investigation and prosecution. Okay. That's what I think should be done.
Thank you very much, but we have to move forward. The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has demanded for the immediate implementation of the national minimum wage of 70,000 naira by the Zamfara state government. The Zamfara State Council unanimously resolved to the decision and aligned with the directive issued by the NLC National Secretariat in its communique after a NEC meeting held in Port Harcourt, Rivers State on November 8, 2024. This was contained in a communique signed by the state chairman of NLC, Comrade Sani Haliru, and made available to news personnel in Gausi, the state's capital, condemning the refusal of some state governments, including Zamfara, to implement the 2024 National Wage Act, describing it as a betrayal of workers' rights amid rising economic challenges. It was learned that all affiliate unions in the state had endorsed the ultimatum given to the state's government to implement the minimum wage by the end of November 2024. Failure to implement the wage will compel the NLC and its affiliates to embark on an indefinite industrial action, effectively shutting down the state from December 1, 2024. The NLC Council stands firmly in solidarity with Nigerian workers in their fight for justice and dignity. The justice delayed delayed is not denied. The Nigerian workers deserve their rightful wages and will not relent until the minimum wage is fully implemented. And this is what the communique read. We were just talking about the minimum wage situation here, and then I was trying to refer to correlate it with the situation that happened in Abia State. And here we have in Zamfara State that the government have not implemented the directive from the federal government, although minimum wage of 70,000 naira to be paid to civil servants. What do you have to say? Because some states have been paying their staffs of the 70,000 naira, and before now some states said when it was 30,000 naira some states couldn't pay. Why do you think that Zamfara state government have been holding back to paying the civil servants?
You know, Zamfara State have been a vocal voice when it comes to we cannot pay the new minimum wage.
What could be the reason for that?
They tag themselves as poor states, as a non-producing state. That's how they tag themselves. The governor.
Well, there are state allocations for
it. State allocations, some state allocations, like Zamfara's state allocation will be so small. You understand? To even start executing projects, you're paying workers, and the state is not producing nothing. The internally generated revenue, the IGRA of the state, it's very minimal, it's like a meager thing compared to what other states they have. You understand? So the man have been so vocal, shouting, we cannot pay this. When the federal government arranged the committee, from the governors and the what's it called, the labor and the federal government and what's it called, the private organized private sectors, the OPS. Now, the state have been saying, let's go back and negotiate with our people what we can pay. But you know, Nigeria is a central thing. Once they say it's here, it's for everybody. You understand? But the states right now, I think they have to go back to it. Well, this thing is a two-way thing. If the NLC insists on that, so many persons, like I keep telling people, they will lose their jobs.
So don't you think this could be a means to call the government to order? Because we've had cases where most times they want to embark on the strike. Some state governments would literally, decide to pay this minimum wage. Don't you think going on strike would put them off?
Strike won't even put them up, because there's, let's quote our former governor, if he didn't day, he didn't day. These guys have been shouting. Most northern governors, you know, this thing is not just Zamfara. Yes. So many states are still crying to say, we cannot pay this thing. We are not having enough from the federal government. We don't even have enough coming out from our states. And you're telling us to pay this amount? It won't be possible. Okay, how about individuals that have done their works? So every labor deserves its wage. And families, for instance, have there are some families that have three family members, father, mother, and the child. Yeah. And then they have needs. And then, considering the economic situation of the country, it's something we can literally not want to talk about here, because everyone is literally complaining, the dollar rates and everything. And then we have that 70,000 naira is a minimum wage, and 70,000 naira can literally not pay for anything. Yeah. How do these people cope? How would they get to cope through situations like this? Well, I don't even know the right word to use, but honestly, I don't know how people cope, because 70,000 is something both of us can use in just one day. You get? So I don't know if it's to say they should go back to the farms or something, because from my observations, these governments cannot pay. There have been rumors or stories of even the federal government borrowing to pay salaries. Hope you know about that. Some states borrow externally to pay salaries. How long can they sustain this thing? How long will the lenders want to give to you? You understand? Because right now, there is nothing happening there. The state is just there. Their natural resources are being mined by individuals, not by the government. Powerful individuals. They have gold there. You understand? But powerful individuals, they mine these things. Whereas ours here, because what they are getting, it's from our own area, other states. That's what you're seeing as their own revenue there that they receive. So I think, one, the state governors have to sit up. It's not about borrowing. Think of other things that can make, that can boost the IGR of the states. That's just my take on it.
Okay.
That's my take.
Thank you very much. So you were referring to the citizens or the civil servants that if they cannot be paid, they can venture into agriculture.
Yeah, agriculture, other businesses, because the truth is so many of them will lose their jobs.
How about practicing your profession? How does that work?
Practicing your profession, I'm an accountant, and if there's no job, what will I do? As we speak, I do businesses.
Okay, so agriculture is a survival skill.
Where I work right now, it's even a health sector. I still do other businesses.
Okay.
I'm an accountant. You understand? So you just need to dive, jump into other things.
Won't that affect the state? Let's say for doctors and teachers, won't that affect the state in education and healthcare?
Definitely it will affect the states.
Okay.
The morals, everything is dropping. Zamfara, as we speak, they are amongst the poorest in the state, in the nation. You get, so the morals, even here, even in River State and other states, if you don't pay them that much needed and this thing, it drops the morals. You understand? Not to talk of places like Zamfara and other states there.
Okay.
That can't pay. You get, so I feel for them, yes, but there must be a way out. And what's the way out? Look for other yeah.
Okay, so if you've given a way out for the civil servants, what is the way out for the governments, the state governments that have not been able? What is your take on it? What do you have to say?
Try to be a producing state.
Okay.
Take back your natural resources. Mine them yourself. Some nations don't have what Zamfara have underneath, but they are doing perfectly well. So corruption shouldn't draw them or limit them into trying to look for ways to generate money for themselves. They shouldn't be relying on other states. They shouldn't be relying on, what's it called? The federal allocation given to them monthly. You understand? So they have farms, arable lands. They have this thing, so they are supposed to. That's just it.
Okay. Thank you very much,
Thank
Daf.
you.
And speaking of agriculture, we have that President Bola Tinubu assured that his administration a renewed focus on driving international and local investments into the livestock sector of the agricultural value chain to help end the recurring crisis of farmer-herder clashes, eradicate hunger, poverty, and promote economic prosperity in Nigeria. The president made this assurance in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil during the signing of a letter to intent between the Nigerian government and JBS SA, one of the 3 largest meat processing companies globally. He stated, "What we are doing right now is solving a problem that has afflicted humanity in that part of Africa. Clashes between farmers and migrating cattle have caused loss of life and bloodshed. When there is a modern civilized way of addressing issues like this and even create a successful economy from them, we are trying to turn a situation of tragedy and hopelessness into economic opportunity to see through problems and recognize the potential they hold," he said. He also stated that, we've heard so much about your reputation, and we will believe that partnering with you will forge food security, and it's extremely important. He said, as we speak, there is hunger. However, there is also great hope, and you are one of those hopes that we are looking at. The Nigerian leader urged the company to recognize the significant potential in what he described as a $2.5 billion livestock investment opportunities in Nigeria, particularly given the country's large population. President Tinubu assured the top executive of JBS that Nigeria is ready to do business with them and promised a good return on their investment. We just spoke about agriculture, and you said the people of Zamfara can venture into it whilst they wait for the state government to pay the minimum wage that has been in that was just signed by the federal government. What do you have to say about the food security from the president?
It's a good one. But giving potential investors false hope won't help this nation.
How do you mean?
Policies.
He stated.
Our policies.
He stated that.
Policies.
What do you mean by he's given this investors false hope?
Because the policies that have been laid out are not investors friendly. About 61 multinationals have left Nigeria.
So are you trying to say there is a tendency that this will not work out?
It will not work out because the policies the government are putting in place, it's killing businesses, it's driving people away. Livestock business, it's a perfect business. Some countries, some states, they survive in it. Or with it rather. You understand? And we have these things in abundance here. But policies are killing us.
What kind of policy has been affecting us?
Wow. We've got policies that have even made, what is it called? The policy on this, what is it called? The fuel subsidy thing.
Okay.
Electricity. Name them. They are driving investors. Multiple taxations. People having to pay multiple taxations. Having to run on diesel 24 hours, and you're still expecting them to pay a minimum wage of 70,000 naira. What would they go home with? And they are being multi-taxed. Come on now, let's face it. JBS SA, it's a multinational company. It's $1 million, like they are big. They are big. But them coming to the country to invest, what's up with our security? Have we put our security in place? We can't just invite people without our security. It's zero. Price of things, price of productions, price of running a company as such in Nigeria, it will be too heavy. And every man's dream or every investor's dream is to come to the country where they can make profits. Where they can make profits. See the high rise in dollar and everything every day, and you want them to come to the nation here and do it, and you think it will be strong or they can sustain it. If the policies or these present policies that they are putting is still in place, those guys won't come. But I bet you if they come, they will run at loss. I'm not trying to badmouth our nation or something, but let's call a spade a spade.
Okay, so you're trying to say we have to get it right first before.
Get it right.
But food is a necessity.
Food is a necessity. The ones we have here is really not insecurity that is making it. How much is tomato now? How much is onion? Because it's coming from the north. The farmers, they can't even go to farm. They can't even go to farm. We're talking of livestock, meat, and the rest of them. Where are we going to source the meat from? Where are we going to source the cattle from? It's not from the north. How will they come? If they are having their this thing here in the south, how will those beefs come? The meat. How will they come? How will they? So the policies are killing. There is insecurity and stuff like that. There's insecurity. So it's not easy. It's not easy, but I still urge him. It's a nice one, trying to woo investors down here to, help develop or trying to cushion the effect of unemployment in the nation. So I think it's a good one, but policies must have to, be put in place to protect their investments. We've had issues on how people, even in Nigeria here, they are investing in their own country and they are running at loss. Not to talk of someone coming from abroad. So it will be let's see how it goes.
Okay, I have a question. Talking about the north, the issue of insecurity has been going on back and forth. Borno, Sokoto, and Katsina, if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. And most of the northern states, yes, Kebbi and all that.
Sokoto, even down to the middle, Jos.
Yes. they have an issue of insecurity as it stands, and these are the states where most of these foods we consume are being produced and brought to the other parts of the country to consume. And we have that they have fled away from their houses. Farmers don't go to the farm anymore. Some of them are in IDP camps. And then we have the issue of the livestock investment coming from the question of livestock investment coming from the president. How do you think this can work together to achieve the plan he has for us?
Without proper security, it will not work. Without proper government policies, good government policies, it will not work.
You keep talking about this policy. Can you expatiate on it more?
How do you mean?
I mean, can you explain
I
the
gave
policies?
You some things.
Yes, you talked about the security that has been affecting the north.
Subsidy,
yes, electricity and all of
multiple taxations. These are things that affects every man's business. Imagine having to run, what's it called now, diesel, for 24 hours here.
Okay.
How much are we making?
Do you think these policies are man-made? Because the president actually said he said he has a country's situation at heart, and he's working towards it. Do you feel that he's contrary to?
Someone said the president moves at night, so he understands the situation. Who does that? The president moves at night, so he understands what Nigerians are going through. He doesn't. He don't understand. I think when they are there, they just, it's hard for them to understand what the common Nigerians are going through. Yeah, so policies that they are putting in place, come on now. How much is fuel? Do you know if you have a car right now and you're earning, let's say, 150,000, you can't comfortably fuel your car, moving from here to the secretariats every day. You have to park your cars. Electricity is on the high side. You can't even, you're using up to 20,000-30,000 naira a month. How much will you now feed on? How much will you use to do other stuff? So the thing is choking. It's choking. You understand? It's really, really choking. So they have to soft pedal. They need to understand that for investors to come in, you win investors is one. For investors to come in, you know that everything is good. There is a soft land for them to till on. Not coming to give them heavy taxations and multiple taxations and the cost of every
forward coming from the president Bola Tinubu. He has sent letter to the Senate seeking confirmation of Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatubosun Oloyede's appointment as the substantive chief of army staff. This was disclosed on Friday in a statement issued by Bayo Onanuga. He's a special advisor to the president for information and strategy. According to the statement, the president is seeking Oloyede's confirmation in accordance with the provision of Section 218 subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended and Section 18 of subsection 1 of the Armed Forces Act. President Tinubu appointed Oluyede as the acting chief of army staff on October 30th, following the illness of Lieutenant General Torid Labaja. General Labaja, however, he died on 5 November. The statement assured that President Tinubu is confident about the leadership qualities, professional integrity, and experience of General Oluyede to lead and inspire the army to ensure national security and stability. Before he appointed acting chief of army staff Oluyede, a member of the 39th regular corps, like his predecessor, served as the 56th commander of the elite infantry corps of the Nigerian army, based in Daji in Kaduna State. He was commissioned a second lieutenant in 1992. Effective from 1987, he rose to major general in September 2020. May his soul rest in peace to the late Chief of Army Staff Labaja. But right here we have that Oluyede has been appointed as the new chief for the Federal Republic. I would love to ask, what is your thoughts about this? What do you think he has to do differently to than what the late Chief of Army Staff has done for the safety and security of the country?
The late General Labaja and the present acting Chief of Army Staff, they were cosmates. I think the 39th and whatever they call it. I think right now he needs to bring out his team rather, form his team and hit the grounds running. I commend the president for, trying to for a swift confirmation so that he can really hit the grounds running. I think the general, the present Oluyede, yeah, I think he will do well. I wish him well in this journey of plenty insecurity and turbulence the country is facing right now. But I think he will. He should just get his team ready and hit the grounds running. That's all I think, and I will say congratulations to him in advance, and to the family that lost their general, their son, and the brother, a father. Say they should take heart. Okay,
aside the fact that we're condolencing the late chief, what do you think that Oluyede would have to do differently than Labaja has done?
We can't say for sure what he will do differently. He's human. He has his own team, or he will get to form his own team. So he knows what he's brought to the table, or what he's got that he can present to Nigerians and to the table of the president. You understand? But I believe at the top of his list, I am not there, insecurity, curbing insecurity will be topmost. Okay. Because that is what Nigerians' problems at present is. You understand? We just talked about investors called JBS coming in, trying to woo them. If the country is not safe, everyday insecurity, okay, imagine people coming in now, maybe the JBS people coming in can't be there. That vacuum can't be there. So unfortunately, General Labaja passed on. You understand? So I think he should just hit the grounds running.
Okay. Thank you very much. But we have to move forward. The federal government has stated that it is closely monitoring the legal proceedings of Nigerian Finnish citizen and leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, following his arrest in Finland on charges of inciting terrorism and promoting violence. Ekpa was detained on Thursday, November 21, 2024 by Finnish authorities, and the Finnish District Court of Atn has ruled to keep him in detention on probably a cost, citing his alleged involvement in inciting violence through social media. The federal government, in a statement signed by the spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kene Ebinefa, on Friday said it will continue to track the progress of Ekpa's legal case, emphasizing the importance of the proceedings in addressing the influence of IPOB and transactional actors on Nigeria's national security. The government had previously exacted diplomatic pressure on Finland to take actions against Ekpa's activities, which have been linked to violent incidents in Nigeria's southeast region. He was charged with inciting terrorism and promoting violence. The Finnish District Court of Atn ruled to detain him on probable cause for publicly inciting crimes with terrorist intent. The ministry wishes to affirm that the arrest of Mr. Simon Ekpa is a significant development in addressing the activity of IPOB and also neutralizing the influence of transactional actors and their impacts on our national security. The ministry will continue to monitor the legal proceeding and then further updates about the progresses will be stated to us. we have been talking about the issue of insecurity back and forth, and we have here for the situation in the southeast about the IPOB, the unknown gunmen, and all what's not. And we know that IPAS has been one of the sponsors of this terrorist attacks, and then the sit at home Monday situation that's been going on back and forth. What do you have to say about this?
It's a very good one. That wicked soul in the person of Simon Ekpa have been arrested. I think he has been charged with sponsoring terrorism via social media. That man have what was it called? Kidnapped or killed. People can't even go for traditional marriages. The Igbos were known for coming down home during the festive period, known for building good houses. You understand me? But they can't even stay there no more. They can't. You understand? They can't even come back home. They can't come back home. All because of this same Simon Ekpa man. All because of this same Simon Ekpa man. So it is a thing of joy. It is a thing of joy that the guy have been arrested, and I urge the Nigerian government to have an agreement with the Phillips government to repatriate that guy back. Let him come and face. Let him come and face what he has done to his father's land. Let him face what he has done to his father's land. You know, they need to charge him. They need to charge him for terrorism. That guy have trained a monster that even he has trained a monster that he cannot even control no more. You understand? He has trained a monster that he cannot control no more. Right now, the East, it will take another 50 years. I'm so sorry. The East will take another 50 years to recover from what this Simon Ekpa did. Okay,
we have a case where Nnamdi Kanu, that has been in detention for a long time now, he refused the claim that he is the sponsor of sit at home situation that's been going on.
He was the originator of it. He started it after they now caught him. In fact, he started the sit at home thing. He started it before this idiot now took over.
So how does it correlate? I know you're offended by it.
I'm sorry for using such
thank you very much.
Sorry.
Well, how do we correlate this issue with the situation in the north? In the southeast right now? And what kind of influence do you think it has on this individuals that carry out these activities? Because we have that report had it that on Monday, innocent people were killed during the sit-at-home incident because you must have to stay at home. You have to close your businesses. You have to stay at home and don't come out. And then these things have not been to the benefit of the people. What kind of influence do you think it has on these individuals that cause this mayhem in the states?
Like I said earlier, some few minutes ago, I said the East, it will take them close to 50 years to recover from this whole thing that had before them. Simon Ekpa and the person of Nnamdi Kanu, they brewed a baby into becoming a monster. Right now, they themselves cannot control those people. It happened in the south here. Why are we saying, let me use the south now as an example. They had bunkery. They had kidnapping. They were kidnapping, release our people. Give us so and so amount of money. Do you know most of them now broke out and started kidnapping for money? We had issues of MEND. emancipation of the Niger Delta, whatever, where they hold some hostages and they make their demands known to the federal government. Some of those same persons grew into monsters. Knowing fully well, like the senators, they all ended their this thing in Abuja. On a norm, the southeast, people want to go there to enjoy themselves. Owerri here, name it. But today, even the hotels in Owerri, people are putting up for sale. Because businesses are not moving anymore.
So it boils down to the fact that insecurity also is the main factor here.
Insecurity is the main
factor of the country.
Yes, it's insecurity. Now you're saying it that it's just insecurity, nothing else.
So what do you think the government of Finland should? What do you think
they should bring him to us?
To Eba?
They should bring him to us. Let him face it. Okay. Let him test the zoo that he has been calling zoo. Let him come. Let him be tried in that zoo. I think we have diplomatic ties now. They can and to others. People tremble when seeing them. And you now tell them with all those money they now have that they shouldn't continue in that their criminality. It's not possible. It's not possible. It will only curb it to a minimum, as in it will curb it, yes, but it cannot stop it. Okay. We still have kidnappings today in the south. You understand? We still have kidnappings in the south. It cannot stop. That's just the thing.
Okay, thank you very much. But quickly, we'll go on a quick short break, and when we return, we will continue with the news. Do stay with us.
Yay.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. And we have from the National Identity Management Commission says Nigerians will have to pay for the new multi-purpose national identity card due to limited government revenue. The head of card management services at NIMC, Dr. Peter Iwebu, said this at a two-day roundtable organized for journalists in Lagos. He said on Friday that the payment was to ensure that it was produced only for those who needed it. Iwebu said over 2 million cards were produced in a previous attempt to issue free national ID cards by the MIMC, but many of them have not been collected till date. Iwebu explained that the government could not fund the production of ID cards due to limited revenue. Also speaking, the Director of Information Technology at NIMC, Mr. Lanre Yusuf, said the idea of a free national ID card did not turn out well in the past. Yusuf described the new ID card as a postpaid identity card, which meant that individuals must need the card before initiating a request for it. To get the new national ID card, Nigerians will need to make a payment, select a pickup location, and then collect the card from the chosen location. I would love to ask you, and before now, we get our ID cards free of charge. You just go to your location and then it gets issued to you.
After how many years?
And it gets issued to you. But
after
right here we have that. You have to pay in order to get it, because firstly they said there is a low government revenue, and secondly the citizens, when they apply for these cards, do not come up for a pickup. What is your thoughts about this?
Low government revenue, yes. Slow government procedures, yes. Now, before this whole new number, the name thing, I had one before. Do you know, up till this moment, I never got that card.
What happened? Come
today, come tomorrow, in 2 weeks, in 1 month. This is over 8 years today. And they are now saying the people don't want to collect.
What was the reason? What did they tell you was the reason for the delay?
They will always tell you your time have not reached. There was this one, they even said it will take up to, is it 3 years before you get it, the original copy that you can just be going about with the slip thing. You understand? So these people, I think the government needs an overhauling from this parastatal house, this NIMC, INEC, name them. When last did people get their original voters card? When last? You understand? So the country, if they want to generate revenue, or they are thinking maybe the people they need them, the government is not sponsoring or cannot afford the distance, so they are trying to cut costs, it's fine. But not when we pay, we will still not get it in 5-8 years time. Imagine 1 million persons, you're holding their stuff for like 10 years. Who knows, maybe 10, 20, 30 persons must have died or more. You get, so I blame the government. This thing should be even a walk-in thing. You go, they check your, everything comes out, they print your card and they give to you. But no, they want to start, you know, I feel this thing still points down to corruption. Trying to know how it's going to be like, how much is going to come out or stuff like that. Now they want to charge us the citizens. No wahala. But ours is give us on record time. Even the what's it called? Our driver's license, same thing. It will be taking, some persons are paid before you even get a date for capturing. Your this thing is even expiring. They'll just give you that slip that you use and be covering up. Is it okay if they want us to be using just the slip? They should just give us only the slips. They're telling us the original later. I'm telling you of myself, since 2024, since 2021 up to date, I'm still using what's it called, a paper. How far my capturing? Don't worry, soon. The other one driving school have not come out. This one, do you understand me?
But what do you think is the reason for all these things? Are there technical problems or there's something
We're
else?
still archaic. We're still in an analog thing.
So we need to evolve.
We need to evolve. It's a simple thing. We need to. These things are supposed to be a walk-in thing. If you've been to the UK before, as you come in, there is this card you need to get. It doesn't take up to 2 weeks. It doesn't take up to 2 weeks. And you have it. But in Nigeria here, you cannot. Even in 2 years, you cannot. They'll start posting you. But do you know, now let me shock you. Do you know if you want your card, even in 1 week, in this country, you get it. But you have to do the wrong thing.
And what's the wrong thing?
We're Nigerians. You know what the wrong thing is.
I don't.
You don't? Okay, me I don't. But you have to do the wrong thing for you to get it.
Okay, so it's not the case that there have been challenges where these cards are not being issued to Nigerians, but the case that you have to do the wrong thing for your card to get issued to you. But here we have that they said that the reasons why these situations are like this and why we have to pay is because
we're nonchalant about it.
Yes, and then we don't value it.
Was I nonchalant about my own? I worked for it, like I've been moving for it until this new one now came up. Was I nonchalant? They are just looking for ways to generate revenue for the, you know, every sector now needs to get more money. That's what they are trying to do.
So what do you think is the way forward? What do you think has to be done?
We need to evolve.
We need to evolve. We need to join the AI revolution.
Yes, that's just it. And we need to be truthful. We need to be committed with they need to be committed with their jobs.
Okay.
You go there, they'll tell you there is no light. Even up till date, to capture, they'll tell you there is no light. The next minute you say, what you go do? And just, bring more money, more go buy fuel. You get the money, they'll take you somewhere else, and you see that same light that you said there is no light. They will have the light. So is
that the bad thing you were referring to?
I didn't say I didn't say you have to bribe, but it sounds like that.
Okay.
But they don't attend to all issues.
Okay. So you need to go to the headquarters.
You need to go to the headquarters. Changing of names, some corrections and stuff like that. Then there are persons, this thing is being matched with our BVN. There are some persons, they said the BVN, if it starts with 00200 something, that you have to go to their office. So
are there not policies and personnel that head this body to govern the situations and put the way forward, like you said?
Like I said, it's just a sit-up. They need to sit up. We're not still in the analog age. Do you know why places like Night Posts died off? Because they were still operating the analog thing. Others evolved and left them behind. DHL is still very much active. FedEx, they are still active. But Night Post, how far? I will now take my letter and go and drop inside that thing and pay for stamp and everything. After 2 years, the person have not received my letter. Whereas I can give it to, I can take it to DHL and it's the next minute or the next day the person is getting it. So these people, that's what they have been doing. That's what they have been doing.
Do you think Nigerians will want to pay for the new card? Do you
They
think
will
they
pay.
will want to get
Do
it?
we have a choice? We don't have a choice. We will pay. We'll have to pay.
Okay.
Because if you don't pay, you will not get it. So you have to pay.
Okay, thank you very much. And talking of Nigeria, we have the electricity supply across the country, which has suffered severe hiccups in the last few weeks. It's been further threatened following fresh attacks on transmission lines by vandals. 31 transmission towers have been destroyed in the latest attack carried out by the unknown vandals in Okada and Ofuso communities along the 330 kilo of the Benin-Egbin and Benin-Omotosho transmission lines. The incident's grid collapse in the country is partly caused by attacks on the electricity facilities. The transmission company of Nigeria confirmed yesterday that the vandalized towers, which suffered significant damage with critical components removed earlier in November, were discovered by TCN linesmen during a routine patrol. Spokesperson for the company, Ndidi Mba, said engineers from the Benin sub-region have initiated repairs to prevent the collapse of the affected towers and to avoid destruction of bulk power supply. According to him, TCN Ahoda Yenogua 132 kV line was vandalized. The hoodlums stole approximately 1/3 of the conductor, affecting towers 29 to 31. That particular line had been under repair following an attack in August, which the TCN said would spark a prolonged power outrage in Bayelsa State. Mba said a team of TCN engineers led by engineer Manuel Apa, general manager of the Port Harcourt region, has conducted an inspection of the site. Efforts are underway to replace the stolen 250 mm conductor. Power Minister Adebayo Adelapu also said last week that repairs of the electricity installations and equipment recently vandalized in parts of the north by unknown men have so far got 9 billion naira of public funds. Few times, if I'm mistaken, correct me, we have had several times where the national grid has collapsed up to 9 times, if not 10. And now we have a situation where the TCN is telling us that the issues for this power grid collapse is because there have been individuals vandalizing the towers, the transmission towers. And in Bayelsa right now, there has been a situation of tower transmission vandalization, and it has caused power outrage, and it's going to be on for a period of time. I want to get your thoughts about this.
First things first, I sympathize with the Bayelsa people, or the Bayelsa states, because right now they'll be out of...
total blackout.
It's a total blackout thing for them. Now, this vandalization, do you know it takes an insider to be able to vandalize such? It takes an insider. I'll give you a story. Where I was staying long before now, there's this guy that if you don't have lights, just call him. I won't call his name here. Once you call him, say, guy, how far now? I need light to I beg. He'll tell you, okay, send me card. Send me like 1,000 naira card. I bet you if you send him that card and he confirms that card, like he confirms that, yes, I've seen the card, you have lights.
I need to understand it, right?
Oh, now you
Wait, is it that or just you would have lights, or the area would have lights?
No, the area will have lights.
So you just make the call to the whole company?
I'm coming now. I'm giving you instances here.
Okay.
Now, do you know areas where they have viewing centers on Saturdays like this? Let me use areas like Diob Access.
Okay.
On Saturdays like this, if there is
Sorry.
excuse me.
Sorry.
If they have to play, or if they have a game, a very interesting game, there won't be lights. You'll be forced to go to the the viewing center. Now, why am I saying this? They are not superhumans to know when they will bring light and when they will not bring
that have 9 lives.
You understand? And at the tail end, they will they will carefully remove the armored cables. Then the next minute you wake up, you are not seeing armored cable, they will start telling you to contribute. You get, so this thing still boils down to sabotage. To those guys around those mile 2 areas or the electrical market areas, are they not selling it back? You understand? So these things are caused by sabotage. They are all caused by sabotage. Now the populace now will now suffer.
Get affected by it.
And entire states and some like a other too now, they'll be having that same issue. Businesses will suffer. A whole lot of businesses.
So in this case now, we don't say that it's the government's fault, because most cases
we won't say it's the government's fault.
So
but
it's an
when you work for the government, the government are humans. When you work for the government and you're part of this thing, you did have said, I put them off.
What do you think would prompt an insider to do things like this?
Stealing, greed. That's just it. They need money. They want to sell things. But this thing here, it's a it's a high profile and organized theft. Bringing down such this thing, see how high it is. They are bringing it down. Come on. You know that there is an insider inside doing this thing. Sabotaging the government. So we really need to do better. We really need to do better, because these people, if they continue like this, that's how maybe someday we'll wake up and they'll tell us they've stolen everything.
So I talked about security. Don't they have individuals watch over things like this?
Oh, they do. These things, they are very lengthy, hope you know. They are very lengthy. And they have, like I will tell you, these things are sabotaged. See those wires up there? There's a signal. Even the ones we have here. If there's a little spark now, it triggers and everything goes off. So what happens here? Something must go off for them to take their time. This is not an hour thing. It's not an hour thing. It's not 2 hours to bring down this thing, to stealing that stuff. So this thing is an organized, I think there is a syndicate that is just there doing this whole thing. So the government putting security in place. You can't, these cables, they travel interstates, through rivers, through thick forest and everything. You won't expect me, maybe I'm here, or you start just keeping just for, no. It has, forgotten the name they call it. It sends signals.
Okay.
If anything happens, they know where it's happening, just like the MTN mass thing.
Okay.
If this area is having an issue, they know. The people in charge of this area, it signals them that this thing, a particular mast, so maybe 105006, just
So before we've been hearing issue about the grid collapse, that it's a technical fault. So we could say that most of this grid collapse and the transmission towers being vandalized are caused by individuals.
Yeah.
It's not like there has been malfunctions from the equipment.
True.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, in as much as we want to help the country and we want to put it on the government to make Nigeria a better place, we also have to play our personal responsibilities. And we have here that Dangote Refinery has said the Nigerian government has not met its targets to supply oil to the domestic refinery under the Naira for crude deal. We remember that the Vice President of Dangote Industries Limited, Diva Edwin, disclosed this in a recent interview. According to Edwin, the amount of crude received from the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited is peanuts compared to the volume needed to ramp the production of refined products. He stressed that the NNPCL hasn't met the targets to deliver a minimum of 385,000 BPD since the commencement of the program in October. We need 650,000 barrels per day. NNPCL agreed to give a minimum of 385,000, but they are yet to deliver that, the Dangote official said. He said, recall that the Nigerian government and the Dangote struck a deal on a Naira for crude deal. The government had announced that it had started to implement the initiative in October 2024. Well, however, reports emerged that Dangote Refinery resumed crude supply from the United States to ramp up production in the $220 billion worth firm. From the beginning of this conversation, you earlier talked about fuel price hike and all of it. And then the Dangote refinery is a refinery we've all been waiting for, so we could see if it is the cost of petrol in the country. But Dangote and NNPCL had, with NNPCL and the government, they had a deal for the Naira crude deal, and then it hasn't been met. And then Dangote eventually went to the United States. He imported, I think on Wednesday or Tuesday, if I'm not wrong, and then he imported fuel, into the country. I don't know, how does this help the country that we're trying to strive to make well?
Some will say the cabals are stronger than the government. Dangote have been crying out for too long. It still boils down to sabotage. It still boils down to the powerful people in power that don't want this nation called Nigeria to work. Now, we have crude in abundance here. Imagine, we take our crude to even the US to sell to them. Now imagine Dangote now going now to buy crude, all because our people here have refused to sell to him. How will the price of petrol now come down? How will the price of aviation fuel come down? How will the price of diesel come down? This country, I don't know the right word to use. I don't know the right word to use, but you see that Kiari guy, they all know what they are doing. At some point, Dangote came out to say they are even going to Malta to refine substandard fuel and bring back to us here. They even condemned his own. A guy condemned one of those managers or something, condemned the Dangote's this thing. Now, Dangote's refinery needs 650,000 barrels a day. Now, NNPC have agreed for 385. Now he's saying it. So what is happening here is just the cabal in NNPC doing what they are doing. See, refinery, they said since this month, next month, the other per month, just like that, is not still working, the Port Harcourt refinery. The only thing they did there was to paint the fence. Is that what we need? Now one man have tried to invest in his nation. You are frustrating him. How wicked can we be to ourselves?
Why do you think these cabals, in quotes, have been holding it? Why, as NNPCL?
In Dangote's words, he said they have blending plants in Malta. So they want their business to work. They don't want the production they don't want it here.
But this is actually going to be to the benefit of us, for us.
Do they care?
The price of petrol right now is literally
about them.
It's affecting everything.
It's about them. They don't think you. It's about them. It's about their generation. Not both of us. Not the both of us. That's just it. The people are wicked, and see, Dangote is just starting because they will still do more. They will frustrate him more.
So, are you trying to say that there's a tendency that the Dangote refinery will not succeed in the plan it has at the moment?
They cannot. They will end up importing crudes.
So NNPCL will not supply crude to them?
Even if they supply that 385,000 barrels, it will not. They will not get it. See now, since they signed the deal,